Let's be honest. If Filipinas were really the problem, foreign men wouldn't keep coming. They wouldn't retire here. They wouldn't marry here and they wouldn't start families here because men don't move continent for a lie. Yet Filipinas still mock online, still bash, still shame and label. And so tonight I want to ask simple question. It's not being emotional. It's not being defensive. It's just the truth. Why does the world keep choosing Filipinas despite of those warnings and despite of those insults, despite of the noise? So stay put, we're gonna talk real talk. Ladies and gentlemen, this episode is not about defending Filipinas emotionally. It's about explaining why foreign men continue to choose Filipina despite online criticism, stereotypes, and constant bashing. So this is not opinion based. This is based on cultural structure, relationship dynamics, migration patterns, marriage statistics, and repeated real world behavior. So, if something keeps happening globally repeatedly across decades, there is a reason, not a coincidence. And to begin with, let's start with the most basic fact. Foreign men travel thousands of kilometers, leave their home countries, spend money, time, effort, learn a new culture, marry, and settle. People do not do this casually. If Filipinos were truly exploitative, emotionally unstable, purely money driven, then long term marriages, retirements, and repeat relationships would not exist. Yet they do consistently. Hence, this alone already disproves the stereotype narrative. So, why the gold digger label is logically weak? Let's break this down logically. A gold digger maximizes short term gain, it minimizes long term responsibility, lives when financial benefit declines. Reality? Many Filipinas stay through retirement, illness, business failure, aging. Many foreign men do not become richer after moving to the Philippines. In fact, cost of living is lower. Income often decreases. Retirement funds are fixed. So if money were the main motivation, this would be a bad strategy. So the label does not align with the real behavior. So the main point, cultural difference, not better, just different. Foreign men are not choosing Filipinas because Filipinas are just better women. They are choosing a different relationship culture. And here's the key differences. Firstly, the conflict style. Western relationships, confrontation heavy, verbal dominance, constant negotiations. Wherein in Filipino culture, indirect communication, emotional regulation, conflict avoidance until necessary. So men who are tired of constant verbal battles often feel relief in a calmer dynamic. So this is not weakness. It is a different social training. So let's jump to number 2, the relationship roles. In many Western societies, roles are constantly negotiated. Power balance is openly challenged. Masculinity is often framed as suspect or problematic. In Filipino culture, masculinity and femininity are not treated as enemies. Roles are flexible but not aggressively contested. Respect is assumed first, not demanded later. So this creates less daily frictions. So the main point, number 4, why submissive is a misused word. Filipinas are not submissive in the psychological sense. And so what is really often interpreted as submissive, it is about the cooperative behavior of Filipinas. Next, also let's talk about the respect-based communication, the situational adaptability. So a Filipina is cooperative as long as the relationship is stable and respectful. Once boundaries are crossed, infidelity, abuse, financial irresponsibility, or repeated disrespect, the same woman became assertive, firm, and decisive, and you can't blame if she's acting that way for standing her ground. And so the idea of naturally submissive collapses under long-term observation. And here's another main point, emotional labor, the part people ignore. So this is a big reason foreign men stay, but rarely articulate. Many Filipinas are socialized to read emotional states, anticipate needs, maintain relational harmony, manage household and emotional atmosphere simultaneously. So this is emotional labor, not servitude. In many modern societies, emotional labor is undervalued or rejected outright. Men who experience it after years without it often recognize its value immediately. And so jumping to another main point, why online bashing doesn't change reality. Online criticism operates on ideology, identity politics, moral signaling. But relationships operates on daily experience, emotional safety, peace, stability. A man can read 10,000 angry comments online, but his lived experience with a partner matters more. And that is why bashing has no stopping power. This need to be said clearly. Choosing a Filipina does not mean control. It does not mean ownership, emotional laziness. It's not about financial manipulation. Filipinas tolerate a lot, but not indefinitely. Many failed Filipina-foreigner relationships collapse due to the power imbalance, age-based entitlement, financial control, emotional neglect. And the myth of easy Filipina is exactly why some relationships fail. And you know what continues to trigger people? This topic triggers people because it forces comparison when someone is chosen. Someone else is not. Someone else feels replaced. Someone else feels devalued. Instead of analyzing why people attack the alternative. This is a human reaction, not a truth statement. So, in the conclusion, for the clear and factual one, foreign men continue to choose Filipinas not because of fantasy, not because of desperation or exploitation. They choose them because relationship structure is different, emotional dynamics are calmer, respect is embedded earlier, roles are less adversarial, daily life feels more stable, and this does not make Filipinas perfect. It makes the relationship model compatible for certain men, and compatibility, not ideology, is what sustains relationships.